Hello sparkly people, welcome back to my channel. I'm Vera Valentina, your favorite burlesque YouTuber, and today we are getting into part 2 of building my red burlesque costume. Last week you all saw me take this red lingerie set from Shein and turn it from blah to burlesque. So now this week you guys are going to see me reconstruct an old corset that I have that needs a lot of help. We're going to take this corset from trash to class. Hopefully, because when I tell y'all this corset is busted, it is busted. Now you're probably asking yourself, Vera, why didn't you just buy a brand new corset? Because on this channel, we do burlesque on a budget. So in keeping with that trend, I decided to take a corset that I already had and repurpose it and make it look absolutely fabulous, like it never belonged to any other costume but this one. You guys are interested in watching me build part 2 of my red burlesque costume? Stay tuned. It's corset time. All right, so the first step in this corset restoration project is, of course, to dye it red. Now, immediately after starting the dip dye process, I found out that this is the absolute worst way to color a corset, as apparently the liquid affects the steel bones of the corset, causing them to rust. So, in the future, I will be using point shoe paint, LOL. Which leads me to say that this is not a tutorial, as I obviously have no fucking idea what I'm doing. And here's me playing around in the kitchen while I'm waiting for the water to boil so I can pour it in that big blue bucket that you guys saw on the ground a second ago. I think I ended up boiling like 5 pots of water to fill my plastic tub up enough for the corset to be fully immersed in the dye. Now that my bucket is all filled, I'm supposed to add 1 full cup of salt. That was not a full cup, so I went back and added a little bit more off camera, and then a drop of dish liquid. That was more than a drop. Now we're gonna go ahead and stir all of that together, and because this is a burlesque channel, booty. Finally, we add a little bit of dye. But before we do that, gloves. And once again, because this is a burlesque channel, I just had to do this. I'm so extra. Now, the directions on the bottle didn't say this, but after going to watch a YouTube video on how to test the color, it said to use a paper towel to make sure that everything matches the way that you want to. So I took the pasties that I've already made for this costume and I matched it up to the paper towel to make sure that it was the perfect shade of red, and it was. So now it's time to take a final look at this rusty-ass, dusty-ass corset. You can see the rust stains on the front, old glue marks of where I ripped off rhinestones on both sides. It's dyed blue because the last costume that I was going to use this for was going to be blue, but now it is taking its final walk as a blue corset as it goes into this bucket of red dye and booty, and here we go. I'm so dumb. Look at me trying to create suspense before I drop it into the dye. Hot mess. Speaking of hot mess, after stirring my corset in this large bucket of dye for about 35 minutes, I went to pour it out over the sink. And it was a lot more water than I expected, and there may or may not have been an accident. It took me about 30 to 45 minutes to get all the dye up off the countertop and the floor and the cabinet, and needless to say that to this day they're still slightly tinged pink, but hopefully we'll be able to get that stuff out before we move. But you know, being the strong, smart, multitasking burlesque dancer that I am, I decided to soak the corset in the color fixative while I was cleaning up. which made the process go by so much faster. So this is the post-dye results. It's red. It's not quite as red as I want it to be. And of course you can still see the weird glue there and the weird glue there, but I have ideas, I have plans, don't you worry. I'm gonna go put this in the dryer and then I'll be back. Fresh out of the dryer, here is the corset, and it is not red enough for my taste or to match the rest of the costume. So we've decided to improvise. We ran to Michael's. We got some fantasy glitter red fabric paint, and we also got the tulip slick fabric paint in red to go ahead and just try to dye this bad boy with fabric paint. In my head, I figured that it doesn't have to match the same red as the underwear exactly, because I know that the stones that I bought match the red underwear that I bought exactly. So as soon as I finish painting this, I'm just going to cover the whole thing in red stones, and you won't even be able to see the fabric anymore. Another burlesque blunder that you can learn from: when trying to get the paint out of the tube, point it down to your tray, not across the room to the wall. Anyway, the fabric paint worked perfectly. It covered up the rust stains that I had on there, and it also covered up most of the glue stains that I had on there, but we'll continue to cover that up with rhinestones in the next video. Oh, and I also got the paint off the wall. So originally I thought this project would be a lot easier than it is, so this is probably going to extend into 2 videos. Actually, I can tell you right now it is extending into 2 videos because all we did today was dye and paint the corset. We still have to rhinestone it, find ribbon, make sure it fits. So if you like today's video, hit that notification button so that you get notified every time I upload a new burlesque video, specifically the next one when I go ahead and rhinestone and finish off this corset. Of course, if you liked this video and because it's 2021, can you please hit that like button? Just go ahead and smash it if you love burlesque. It doesn't even have to be about me. Make it about the art, because that's what we're all about here on this channel, helping you go further, faster in burlesque. You guys also know that I am pushing for my next subscriber goal. I'm pushing for 20,000 subscribers before the end of March. And of course, if I get there, you guys know I'm gonna do another giveaway. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Hit that post notification bell so you get notified every single time I upload a new burlesque video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Vera Valentina, your favorite burlesque YouTuber, bringing you the best of burlesque, beauty, and booty here on social media. And I will catch you guys in the next video.